Something exciting happening today, guys. We're in Canberra. I've got a key in my hand and a new EV behind me. So Cupra is a Spanish company, and it's really only been in Australia a couple of years. They've got 3 petrol models at the moment, and this is their first EV, but EV really is going to be the future for the brand, where there's going to be another 3 coming out soon. I'm really impressed with the Cupra Born's range. This is rated to do about 500 kilometers. A range like that should really dispel your anxiety, especially if you're going to use this as a city vehicle where you're driving around, even 50 kilometers a day or so. Plus, of course, you can just take it home and charge it every night. So really, I don't think there's anything to worry about in terms of range when it comes to an EV vehicle with a battery this big. It's about 71 kilowatt hours battery size. So that's how big it is. And you've got some different charging options too. It can do up to 170 kilowatts DC charging, or AC charging as well if you want to plug it in at home with that standard charger. There's a couple of different wall boxes you can get too from Cupra with different options to install into your garage. So we are driving around Canberra at the moment, and maybe we'll do a little bit of more spirited driving as we get outside of the city. Oops, yellow light, let's test those brakes. Speaking of which, there is regenerative braking. So for those that don't know, regenerative braking is basically the brakes put energy back into the battery because some of the car's inertia is converted back into energy. Steering's light, easy to turn the wheel. Turning circle's pretty small too. Feels like it'd be pretty easy to zip around in the city. Really liking this interior. It's stylish, it's kind of quirky, it's got lots of patterns, different textures too, and you see the Cupra logo kind of reflected, as well as the nice copper color in a lot of the different designs. As what seems to be the trend with EVs, there aren't a lot of other controls outside of the touch screen itself, and some steering wheel controls here as well. You can adjust things like temperature with some buttons, dedicated buttons along the bottom of the 12.1-inch display. But otherwise, you really need to sift through some of the on-screen menus to make those settings. But good thing is that the glove box, unlike, say, a Tesla, you can open with just a pull of a lever. So it has kept a few things simple and intuitive. So with the design, there's a lot of the car is sort of more forward. I guess it's all about kind of giving it that aggressive stance. But what you will notice is that the dash is quite raked, the windscreen is quite raked, meaning that you have these sort of little windows in front of your side windows. It's actually good because you can see through them, you get a bit of extra visibility there. It's a slightly different design, there's kind of like little portals basically. So inside you do get some practical places. There are 2 cup holders here with adjustable sizes. You got a little bin down here, a nice slidable cover that just kind of covers things up. And then your center console, you got quite a bit of depth down there. There's a lot, it's like a little cavern down there, as well as your wireless charger, and a couple of USB-C connectors to plug in your devices. So yeah, a few things there. And the doors, you got some pretty wide little door pockets for another bottle or 2 on both sides. There's of course a great screen here for your reversing camera, and it's got 360-degree proximity sensors. Not like a bird's eye view type of thing, but it does at least give you a sense of where the car is relative to the things around you. Looking at the back seat, there's a bit of room between the sort of the front seats and the legroom in the back seat. Middle console folds down so you can load longer objects through, so there's some practicality there. It doesn't look like too bad of a place to be back there, but until I sit there, I'm not sure. Do feel a bit of pickup, gotta say, not bad. So in the briefing they said that the performance for this car is about the same as what you get with a Golf GTI. You certainly do feel the torque. There's real immediacy in every pedal press, which is one of the lovely things about electric cars. I'm just pulling onto the motorway now and it's just effortless. I mean, you'd never be in this car and thinking that it was, you know, underpowered to get you up to speed to keep up with traffic. I think what Cupra wants to do is have us focus on the other things, like how the suspension is set up, how the steering feels, the braking. So to think of it more of an overall package, not just its 0 to 100 times. And I have to say that it really does feel like it's set up quite well. I mean, the ride feels really nice. It's not too crashy. The suspension feels tight, a little bit sporty as well. It's reasonably quiet too, not a lot of excessive road noise, which is really important with an EV because you just don't have that motor covering up the sound otherwise. It's quite comfortable. I'm feeling good in my seating position. Steering wheel's adjustable, both height as well as telescopic. Mirrors give you good visibility. Yes, some models do have adjustable suspension. The Sport pack gives you that, so you can change the firmness of the ride. The comfort mode does feel, you know, pretty cushy. I can feel the car kind of rolling over things a little bit more than kind of bumping up and down. But when you change it up to the performance profile, which I've just done now, I can feel it firm up a bit, especially kind of on the lateral kind of side-to-side movements. So when I let off on the pedal, there's a good amount of regenerative pull, but it's not like some cars that it's almost like pressing the brake. This is not that aggressive, and there's really only 2 modes, so it's not that adjustable. Bit of a shame for me because I do like the one pedal driving on electric cars, but those types of things do take some getting used to for drivers who are not used to electric cars. So there is a readout on the dash here that tells you about your acceleration versus your regen, so you do get a sense of how kind of much you're putting back into the battery. Gives you other bits of information too, like your time since start, kilowatt hours per 100 Ks. Currently I'm doing 18.3 and I've gone 13 kilometers so far. The only thing is I wish Google Maps would actually tell me the speed limit. I'm in Canberra and this place is all about getting tickets. Now that I've just pulled off the motorway, I think, you know, it's great when you're above 100 kilometers per hour. It's still responsive, but not as much of that, you know, sort of lower end torque that you'd feel when you're just driving around the city. But I mean, I don't think this car is about top end performance. It's really about, you know, having a nice, great sort of peppy car that gets around the city with good responsiveness. So the Cupra Born comes with a 5-year warranty, which is good to see. For those especially who aren't that familiar with the brand, and there's an 8-year warranty on the battery itself. So we are pulling back in after our little test drive, but I have to say I'm impressed. Really nice to drive, feels very planted, and you know, I think it's what we're hoping for. Wow, well, that was a very quick drive in the Cupra Born. This is their first EV, and it's a pretty special car, not just for the way it looks. It's quite unique. It's got a really cutting-edge design, a lot of great little features and accents that I think a lot of people are going to love. But what I really love the most is the fact that this is a $60,000 car with a 500-kilometer range. That in this space is unmatched, unprecedented, and I think it's going to really open the eyes of a lot of people looking at getting their first EV. Really fun to drive, peppy, lots of power, and of course we're getting a price that's just hard to match. So definitely worth your time and worth a look.